Okay, here we go with the Sonar training session number 1 of series. Part 1 is recording musical instruments. Part 2 is recording vocals or audio. Part 3 is mixing, editing, and mastering. Part 4 is more miscellaneous, dealing with different topics, advanced features in Sonar. Some of those can be personalized as to each of you out there who need to use things specifically. But anyway, here we go back to part 1. Double click on Sonar. Open it up first and foremost. And we're going to get rid of the quick start menu. Click here. And we're going to go here to File, New, and name the song. We'll call it Song 1. Alright, and then if you're creating a song and you're not really sure what you want to title it, there's no problem. You can always go in and change that. But right now I'm going to call this Song 1. Click OK. Alright, I'm going to right click here and I'm going to get rid of those 2 tracks. Delete tracks. And also going to go here to Options, MIDI, and make sure my keyboard is connected there, which it is. Alright, now I'm going to go to Options, Project. And what I'm going to do here is select Metronome and get rid of the count in. Alright, click that off. We click OK. Alright, now I'm ready to set up my tempo. Just go here in this little box and I'm going to type in 83. Alright, there again, just like with naming the song, if you're not really sure what tempo you want, you can always start off with the tempo and change it at any point in time. Alright, and after we do that, now I'm ready to pick the instruments that I want to use to record. So I'll click on the synth rack, and if you're ever wondering where your synth rack is or kind of forget what it is, remember you can always highlight any icon on the menu, and the name of whatever it is will actually show up, and you can actually even go into help topics. Let's say if you're on let's say something like snap to grid, I can click on help topics, and if I'm not really sure what that even means, I can type in grid and click list topics, and then scroll down, and I'll even see here what is it, oh yeah, snap to grid right here. So it display, and sure enough, you got information about that and what it is. You know, you can actually pick any particular subject within the help menu. Is very, very useful for trying to figure out things that you're not really sure of, that may not be covered in this tutorial or tutorials that I give. You can get some advanced features just within the help menu. The whole manual for Sonar is actually in the help menu, which is a lot of things. So anything that you want to really know in depth or just take your time with, you can just click on the help menu. So we'll close out of that, but I want to click on synth rack plus soft synths. Alright, you see a list of keyboards here, but I'm only going to use 3, my 3 favorite, which I can pretty much use for just about any type of music, from gospel to R&B to hip hop, pop, rock, you name it, film scoring type stuff. Live Synth Pro is number 1, and I'm going to click browse and pick a bank of sounds. Click open and then load. Alright, now I'm going to hit the red X, close that instrument out. It's set up. Now I'm going to go to my next instrument, which is the Steinberg Hypersonic. Click here, and I'm going to minimize this one instead of getting rid of it. There's a reason for that. Alright, and then last but not least, go to the MIDI roll, Hyper Canvas. Click there, and this one, just like with the Live Synth Pro, I'm just get rid of it. The reason you keep the Hypersonic open is because for some reason you have to always, if you're using it, you have to always keep it open, and to get it off the front panel you just minimize it. Alright, each keyboard has its own interface and you use it different, one keyboard different from the other, just like if you were to go into a music store and try to play different instruments, even though they all make sounds and do similar things, you know you're going to use them all differently. Alright, so I got my tempo, got my keyboards, so I'm going to insert MIDI track. Alright, and then I'm going to go here. This space right here is very, very, very important. Double click there, and then it opens up track properties. And then we're going to select Live Synth Pro, and I'm going to put it on MIDI channel 1, pick my user bank, and then go over here to patches, and I'm going to pick a sound to use. I like to start off with drums, so I'm going to pick kit 10, and I'm going to click OK twice there. Engage record, and here we go. Alright, so now I have that recorded. So I go here to process, and I'm going to quantize that. Now what that means is you're just kind of rounding the beat off, or kind of I guess you could say editing it to the point where the beats and rhythms are accurate. More check out here, only notes and lyrics, MIDI. We don't need that feature, but I'm gonna go here to the swing. I'm gonna type in 61 for this song. Now with any song that you use, each song has a swing percent. It's gonna be anywhere from 50 on out, but usually songs that have a bit of a swing to it, it's gonna be anywhere from 60 to 67%. The less swing, you know, more rigid type beats are gonna be from 50 to maybe 55 or so. Click OK here. Now I'm ready to record another track, MIDI track. Alright, and so I double click here. This time I'm going to use the Steinberg Hypersonic, because I want to use and I don't have to use the bank and the browse here, because you just open up the interface to get these sounds. I'm going to go here to natural drums and select bright natural drums. Alright, minimize that. I always never get rid of it. And now I'm ready to record my hi-hat track. Alright, now I have that. Quantize it. It's already set up, so I don't have to redo that. Now I'm ready to record maybe some cymbals. So I'm gonna go in here, MIDI track, double click. This time I'm gonna use the Hyper Canvas, and I'm gonna go to MIDI channel 10 and just click OK, because the default for drums for the Hyper Canvas is MIDI channel 10. Remember, like I said, each instrument is different, or each keyboard is slightly different. Alright, so when I hit record my cymbals. Alright, cool. So I got those in. They were a little bit low on the velocity, which, you know, is the volume. So I'm going to go here to Views, Piano Roll, and I'm going to manually adjust the volume for each cymbal. I don't want them to be the same. I'm going to go ahead and quantize them within here too, and listen and make sure they're the volumes that I want. Yeah, that sounded good. Now for my splash cymbal. Okay, so that works for me. Alright, Now I'm going to go on and insert another track. And actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my grid. We need to go ahead and activate that by clicking on the down arrow. And right here I'm going to change this to measure. And down here change this to move by. That's for clips. Then we go to PRV mode tab, change that to measure and that to move by. Okay, now what I'm going to do is highlight across the top and highlight across the side. I'm going to copy and paste this section that I did because it's only 4 bars, but I want it to be 8 bars now for doing my drum rolls. So I insert MIDI track, double click here, and I'm going to go to the hyper canvas, MIDI channel 10 again, just like with the cymbals. Click OK, and we're going to do the drum rolls. Alright, now I got my drum rolls in place. Highlight, quantize. Now you see I'm doing the same thing over and over again now more so. Gets easier as you go along. Setup is the most taxing part. Insert MIDI track. Now I'm ready to play some bass here. So I'm going to go here to the Live Synth Pro. I'm going to go to MIDI channel 2. Because I've used MIDI channel 1 for my kit 10. User bank, and I'm going to scroll down, find a bass sound there, engage record. Now I'm going to go ahead and record a bass track. Alright, now I just want that to repeat, so I don't have to keep playing it over and over again. So I highlight that first thing first, quantize, and I'm going to highlight across the top. It's already highlighted on the side, and I'm going to copy, go to the end of the phrase, and paste. Alright, I'm going to play it just to make sure that everything is accurate. Wow, came out great, just like I wanted. We're ready to do another instrument. Insert MIDI track, double click here, track properties. This time I'm going to hop back to the Steinberg Hypersonic, and I'm going to go down to MIDI channel 2 here because I'm going to use a different instrument. Open up the Hypersonic and go to this section right here for the second channel, and select a electric keyboard, or electric piano rather. Double click there and minimize it. Never click the red X. Alright, now I'm ready to play a keyboard part. Okay, and just like the bass, you know, it's going to repeat. So I don't want to keep playing it over and over again. Just copy and paste it. But the first thing I'm going to do is quantize and highlight across the top. And actually, before I move on with it, I'm going to go to the end of this and go into the view, piano roll just to make sure I didn't have anything that went over my grid line. And just kind of open it up a little bit. And what I want to do, I don't want these notes to go over, but I'm going to slide the ends almost to the edge. That will have like a smooth transition from going from the end of the phrase to the beginning of the phrase. Now you don't want the notes to go over the line going into the next phrase because you'll cause a glitch. So I'm just going to roll it back there. It's well wanted. And we'll go back and requantize again. Okay, now I'm going to scroll across the top, highlight the side, and go copy. Go to the end of the phrase and edit, paste. Alright, now I'm just going to play it from right here. Just make sure everything is all good. Smooth. Alright, so that's what I want. Now I'm ready to go to another instrument. So I'm going to go insert MIDI track, double click here, and this time I'm going to go to MIDI channel 3 on the Live Synth Pro. Using a different instrument here. Pick a string, click OK, and engage to record. Now I'm ready to record my string part. So we'll just test. Alright, so I'm ready to record my string part. Alright, got it in there. So I'm going to take that and just like with the other ones, quantize. Now with this one, I know there were some notes that were too loud and some notes that were too soft. And that's the velocity. So I'm going to go here to views, piano roll, and squeeze it down so I can see everything that's there. And if you notice these lines at the bottom, that one is right there, that one is right. Then it jumps up here. You know, they're different, and this one goes really low. I want to kind of have them all maybe about right here, which I'm looking at my little number over on the side. It's telling me about 45%. So I'm going to highlight all those, and I'm going to make them all the same velocity by just changing it to 45. Hit tab button and 45. And click OK. Now if you notice, they're all even, so they'll all play back at the same volume now. Another way to do it, I'm gonna undo what I just did. You can actually go in this, so if you want them all different velocities but not too loud, you can actually go in and change them manually, you know, each one, you know, so that you can have a more realistic sound, a more human sound, less computerized sound. But I really want those all to be the same for a particular reason. But anyway, I'm gonna go here and go back to scale velocity to 45, and I'm gonna go to the end of my phrase here, and I got that one note at the end of the string. I want to stretch that out just a little bit so that it goes almost to the end of the grid but not going over. I want to have it maybe about right there. That way when I get ready to loop the pattern, it's going to loop smoothly. So click out there. I'm back here. Now I'm also going to turn the overall volume of the, also, you know, the more you stretch this out, the more things you can see in the tracks. For each track, it has its own little set of properties. Right here, I'm going to use, this is for your volume. You know, there again, anything that you highlight, it'll show you what the icons represent. This is the section for volume. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Alright, turn it down from 100% to 47. That sounds good to me. So now I'm ready to do another instrument. Insert MIDI track. And I'm going to go here, double click in that space. And I'm going to go to the hyper canvas again. We'll go to MIDI channel 1. Then go here on the bank. Now for the banks for the hyper canvas, even though it has a long list of bank probabilities right here, you're only going to use the one because they're all the same. Click on the browse patches, and I'm going to scroll down to muted guitar. That's what I want. And I'm going to put that in. Alright, got what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and record now. Alright, got that. There again. Quantize. Highlight across the, well, I want to cut my grid on. Highlight across the top, because if you don't cut the grid on, it won't be accurate when you paste it. It'll put it in some random spot. And paste. Alright, now I'm going to play it. I think that's everything that I need to have right now for this little 8-bar phrase. Great, that's just what I want. So now I'm going to do is go ahead and kind of structure a song. So I'm going to squeeze this down a little bit, make sure my grid is on. Highlight across the top. Now I'm going to highlight across the side to select all the tracks. Edit, copy. And I'm going to paste that 2 times. Alright, now what's going to happen is I got basically the same thing repeated 3 times, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little different to each section. So cut the record off, and I'm going to cut the grid off for right now. And what I'm going to do is highlight from here to, let's say, here, and I'm going to get rid of my kick drum and snare drum. I want to hit on the very first beat, but not all the way through. And I'm gonna go here to this section. I'm gonna take the strings away, and I'm going to take away part of the muted guitar, not the whole thing, but a piece of it. And I'm going to leave everything on this. Now this is going to be my introduction to the song. This is going to be my verse. This is going to be my chorus. But also I'm going to go here at the very beginning of this phrase. I'm going to take off just a little bit of the drums, hi-hat, and I'm going to hold down my control key and select the bass. Well, on second thought, I don't think I'll use the bass. I'll take out just the drums for that section and kind of fine tune it a little bit. I'm gonna play it to make sure my little pause is there. Alright, got a little pause in there indicating that that's the verse, clearly for a vocalist. Alright, now I'm gonna play everything to make sure everything is intact before I start doing more copying and pasting. then we're back to the chorus. All right. So I got all the parts there just like I want them. So I'm gonna hit File, Save. Make sure you do that frequently. Cut my grid back on because now I'm ready to do some more copying and pasting. I want to have a song that has 3 verses. So I highlight across the top, then I highlight across the side, and we'll go copy. Go to the end of the last section, and then I'm gonna paste it 2 times. Alright, let me use my little squeeze down thing here. And if you notice right here, got verse right there, and a verse right there. So I got 3 verses. And then highlight across here, and highlight across the top. And I'm gonna go copy and paste this last section, which is the chorus. I want to repeat, let's say maybe like 4 times. That's the vamp of the song, or the end of the song. So I'm just letting the chorus repeat itself. I click OK, and boom, I got a whole song there. All right, now that really completes the section for recording music. You already know how the song goes. I'm not going to bore you with the section. It's a little simple song, a little simple track, but I just put it together for the sake of demonstration and showing you how to record music using Sonar. So this completes section 1.